This is Sheila Corona, and welcome to another edition of Handbook for the New Paradigm, Volumes 1, 2, and 3. We are on Volume 3, entitled Becoming, on session number 17. For those of you that are following along with me in the book, I'm on page 292. And so it begins. As the situation continues to develop, the picture becomes more confusing from the perspective of humanity. However, from the greater perspective, it appears as movement or change. It is through what appears to be ominous events that this change begins its motion, and in reality reflects that long awaited momentum is building. I think that's what a lot of light workers, self-described light workers, have been feeling. I've been keeping my toe in different Facebook groups where folks speak to feeling something very large looming. Actually, there's a lot of people on the planet that feels like something very large is looming at this point. It feels to me. Back to the book. This is not to say that these ominous situations should be greeted with anticipation, but it is important that the observer mode be maintained while also experiencing these events. None of you are asked to be anything but human in your reactions, other than to know the truth of what the bigger picture indicates. Wow. It is by moving through situations rather than resisting them or ignoring them that experience becomes wisdom. Wow. If experience is denied, then the opportunity to gain wisdom is lost. Yeah, that's a true statement, isn't it? The knowledge of the history of humanity's birth into self-aware beings, the addition of other families of humans to the mix, and the constant interference and prevention of evolvement by the controllers have contributed to the confusion and frustration of those of you who are present now. Without the understanding of who and what you are, there is little hope for change. This is the reason that this information has been deliberately destroyed, withheld, or misinterpreted. The available historical information is presented in different ways because of different interpretations of the documents and artifacts. And this has happened partly through deliberate intent and sometimes because of bias and ignorance. It is thus important that more than one source be searched in order that each individual can discern those aspects of truth contained in each. That's what I hear. I hear, see, sense, feel, puzzle piece collection all over that statement. It is thus important that more than one source be searched in order that each individual can discern those aspects of truth contained in each. Again, the conclusions may vary, but enough of the truth will be discerned by each to reach far more intelligent understandings of the total situation. What seemed incredulous in the beginning begins to make sense. Oh boy, does it ever. And then allows for acceptance of a reality that has been purposefully hidden to continue the ownership of this planet. With legitimate inhabitants, with a level of self-awareness to govern themselves, colonization for the purpose of stripping a planet of its resources is unconscionable. The fact that the colonizers knowingly gave this ability to the beings that were already present on their arrival makes the situation even more objectionable on moral and ethical basis. To further complicate matters, it is the responsibility of the inhabitants to prove that they have the ability to govern themselves and to steward their planet by changing the situation through their own free will decision. They must discern how to accomplish this within the universal laws, and in this case, despite largely not knowing what these specifically are. Most know that the system that surrounds them is orderly and must be to continue. But what supports that orderliness is unknown. Searches for this orderliness are convoluted into theories of origin that are of little or no importance in understanding how it operates. I feel that they're referring here to like sort of nature. That's the only thing I keep being shown over and over and over again. Life just is. Source just is. It propagates and moves, and this is the whole point to all of it, and it's also very unique. The simplicity of the universal laws escapes the understanding of scientists who thrive on complications. Simple as they are, the diversity and interactions within the application of them cause confusion when the search is for the cause behind the effects. It is so much more efficient to begin with the cause or the laws in their simplest form and then follow their effects forward into experience. The written or spoken enumeration of the laws is fully supported mathematically. It is important to begin at the beginning. The Big Bang Theory does not allow for understanding to be elicited from a holographic process, for it is again a search from manifestation back to cause. The diversity available within holographic parameters is so encompassing that to find the cause within its available infinite variety is to be compared with finding the needle in the haystack. The process of layering information adds to a greater understanding of the whole in which mankind on this planet finds itself. It builds a holographic understanding that enables those who study this material to change their ability to perceive and discern more of who and what they are, and to know more about the controllers. There are many more incredible facts that are available to be known. The question is, quote, how much is essential in order to bring forth the necessary decisions that will free this planet from the situation in which it is mired, end quote. There is a point at which further information becomes more detrimental than helpful. What I'm being shown at this point is that it would only convolute things. This is why, for me, I see the value in the intellectual exercise. I've seen it in myself, where I now know the difference between intellectual exercise and alchemical epiphany. And you cannot have alchemical epiphany without at least a little bit of intellectual exercise, meaning you have to hear the concept, think, contemplate, feel into, the concept, a larger, broader concept first. Then as one begins to play with that concept, for me anyway, pulling it in and then experimenting with that concept in my own life, right? I walk that experience from the experience into now wisdom. I can experience it, but I'm not quite sure I'm totally on board yet. But it's, I don't know. That's what I'm being shown here is how this really is meant to be. So I can see that until I get a thing or grok it all the way, right? I can see where there is a point at which further information becomes more detrimental than helpful because it would just serve to confuse what I'm already trying to grasp and grapple with. It is the search for this point that brings forth these messages. It is hoped that commitment and action in the application of the suggestions included will signal the end of the need for more information. At the basis of all action is the transition of consciousness and the decision to answer the call to responsibility that has been ignored and refused for so long by the composite group on this planet. Wow. That's the end of number 17. And I feel like this at the basis of all action is the transition of consciousness and the decision to answer the call to responsibility that has been ignored and refused for so long on this planet. That is also part of the alchemical epiphany. Like once it's fully grasped, you cannot unsee it, you cannot unknow it, you cannot unfeel that and now be shown it in every walk of life. For me, anyway, that's what that has come to be. Wow. Okay, so this was number 17. And I have to tell y'all, so I went back to, oh no, you'll see it. I'm going to do a whole other thing about that, I guess. I don't know how to do that. I want to address I had a blackberry seed in my teeth for number 16 and the channeling that I did right before. So that was too funny to me. I hope that you will move towards that which brings you joy in each moment that presents itself to you. And don't be worried about the blackberry seeds that might get caught in your teeth while you're recording. You know, I stopped. I popped a blackberry while I was in between, and I never even thought to check and make sure it wasn't in my teeth for recording. So. Until next time, I hope that you will move towards that which brings you joy in each moment that presents itself to you. It is just a matter of perspective and one that you have the right to slow down and view in any way you wish. Till next time, be well, my friends.